Bueno, bienvenidos todos el día de hoy, 12 de diciembre, y nos encontramos muy contentos de iniciar este evento de clausura de lo que fue uno de los mejores años del Día Mundial de las Aves Migratorias, porque en esta oportunidad no solamente celebramos a las aves, sino también a sus amigos alados, que son los insectos. Y durante el día de hoy vamos a tener un breve repaso de lo que ha sido este año lleno de actividades. Empezaremos con una bienvenida a todos los asistentes. Luego presentaremos a los artistas que hacen posible los temas de conservación cada año, divertidos, coloridos y dinámicos. Pasaremos volando por todas las regiones y de esa manera conoceremos cuáles fueron los eventos destacados de este año. También premiaremos a algunos educadores con binoculares gracias a nuestros patrocinadores de Optifor Tropex y Vortex. Y finalmente anunciaremos algunos detalles de la futura campaña 2025, espacios compartidos, creando ciudades y comunidades amigables con las aves. Para aquellos que necesiten traducción, en la parte baja de su Zoom van a encontrar un icono en forma de globo. Si usted da clic en ese icono, cuando yo estoy hablando español, usted puede recibir una traducción en inglés. Cuando cambiemos a otro presentador, si usted necesita traducción del español al inglés o del inglés al español, las opciones las encontrará en el botón de interpretación. For those English speakers who need Spanish translation from Spanish presenters, you will find a globe in the bottom of your screen in Zoom. If you click English, you will find our interpreter, Claudia, that will help us to translate all the session this morning. And with that, I want to pass to my friend and present other members of the team here as quiero compartir que el Día Mundial de las Aves Migratorias tiene un equipo excelente, empezando por sus coordinadoras regionales que se encuentran Daniela Sousa en México, Laura Babula en Trinidad y Tobago, coordinando el Caribe. Ah, en Centroamérica, nuestra coordinadora Leticia Andino, en Estados Unidos y Canadá, nuestro apoyo Alex Drox y Susan Bonfield. Y también, en un caso particular, hemos crecido el programa en un nuevo idioma, en portugués, en Brasil. Bienvenidos a todos a esta gran celebración de clausura. Gracias a todos por juntarse el Día Mundial de las Aves Migratorias. Y bienvenido, Alex.
All right, I think we figured it out. All right, thank you and welcome everybody. And before we get started, I just want to do a quick reminder that this is being translated. So if you need the English or Spanish translations and you are on the Zoom call with us, there should be a little toggle at the bottom of the Zoom menu where you can select your representative channel. So World Migratory Bird Day is all about coming together for a shared and sustainable future. And it's a day to celebrate migratory birds and raise awareness and promote conservation. And none of this would be possible without the support of our partners and our sponsors. So first, we want to recognize the organizations that make World Migratory Bird Day happen, our global partners, Convention on Migratory Species, the African Eurasian Waterbird Agreement, and the East Asian Australasian Flyway Partnership. They're the backbone of this campaign. And right now, I'll hand it over to Florian Kyle and Minjae Bake from EAFP, their communications officers for CMS in Iowa. And so they'll say a few words and a few reflections on just the campaign this year.
Alex, can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead, Florian. Yeah.
Good. All right. Thank you very much, Alex, and everyone else. Good afternoon, I guess. It's for everyone on your flyway. I'm Florian Kyle, Communications Officer at the Iowa Secretariat, so the African Eurasian Waterbird Agreement, and in a joint unit with colleagues from the Convention on Migratory Species. So we are a a joint unit organizing with EFTA and EAFP World Migratory Bird Day each year. We're trying to make this campaign come alive and basically develop the materials together with the partners every year. And it's a delight to join this closing event for this year. I want to actually have just one message. We have a strong, good collaboration across the flyways, thanks to these partners. We have, CMS as a global convention dealing with all migratory animals, also based here in Bonn, Germany, and the African Eurasian Flyway Agreement and EAFP and EFTA in the Americas. So yeah, my words of thanks for the good cooperation. I think we've achieved a lot again this year. Just want to flag, I don't know if everyone noticed, but we managed to get featured on the UN global website again, both in May and October. So that's, I think, a huge achievement that we are setting the agenda, the global agenda for migratory bird conservation, thanks to all the efforts in the field, from the event organizers to, all the things that are being developed around this campaign. We are making an impact, and I think it's a great opportunity each May and each October. And I just want to say thank you to everyone involved for this year's campaign, and we're looking forward to working with everyone again for next year. An exciting theme on cities, and I'm sure we're going to learn more about that this hour. Thank you.
Thanks, Florian. Minjae, would you like to say anything about the campaign from EAFP?
Yeah, Alex. Hello, I'm Minjae Baek from East Asian Australasian Flyway Partnership. I'm a communications officer. And first of all, thank you for organizing the closing ceremony, and congratulations for the successful 2024 World Migratory Bird Day events. And EAP is supporting the connections between the water birds, migratory water birds, and habitats and people. So I'm very honored to work and cooperate with EFTA and also AWA CMS to protect the migratory water birds and migratory birds, especially with our special partners. So I look forward to make further cooperations with my special global partners, and thank you for all our cooperations. Thank you.
Thanks, Minjae. And also just a small shout out to Joanna from CMS for interning this year and doing a lot of the work for World Migratory Bird Day. And thank you. We very appreciate it. And also thank you to our global flyway sponsors, the U.S. Forest Service and National Park Service. And they've been amazing champions of World Migratory Bird Day for many years, helping us inspire and educate people across the U.S., Latin America, and the Caribbean. And we really couldn't do it without you. And a special thank you to Mike Rizzo from the National Park Service and Karen Theofil from the U.S. Forest Service, and their support has been essential in building and growing this campaign over the many years. So, and the National Park Service couldn't be here with us today to share a few words, but we do want to give a special shout out to Caitlin Campbell, their interpretation and engagement coordinator. Thank you for all the work that you've done on World Migratory Bird Day. We'd also like to thank our title sponsors, the Bureau of Land Management, Partners in Flight, Optics for the Tropics, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And a special thank you to Valerie Fellows and her amazing team at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for their incredible support this year. And for everybody from there that couldn't join us today, Renee Chi from the Bureau of Land Management, Joni Ellis from Optics for the Tropics, Seamus O'Toole and Morgan Chapman from Vortex Optics. And we see all the hard work you do on educating across the world and all the outreach and supporting our Outstanding Educators Awards, which we'll get to later on in the ceremony. So now we'd like to invite on Noah Matson, Deputy Assistant Director from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's Migratory Bird Program, to just say a few words about World Migratory Bird Day. Noah?
Hello, and thank you for inviting me. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is a proud sponsor and supporter of World Migratory Bird Day. This semi-annual celebration continues to serve as a premier opportunity to connect our partners and the public as we come together and work to stay relevant with our many audiences. This year's theme of Protect Birds, Protect Insects aligned particularly well for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service because we are very concerned about aerial insectivore birds. You can't protect birds without thinking about their food and their habitats they need all along their migratory flyways. That's why we're so happy to partner with the Environment for the Americas on this global celebration to raise awareness about the issues that both birds and people face. We provide the amazing educational materials developed by the World Migratory Bird Day Partnership to our national wildlife refuges and other local offices visited by the public, reaching thousands of people to inspire the public to care about birds. And on the theme of insects, the Fish and Wildlife Service just proposed to list the monarch butterfly as threatened under our Endangered Species Act. This iconic species and its incredible migration connects us like our shared bird species. The fact that monarchs and so many other species of insects and birds are in trouble is an indication that we all need to work together to focus on the systems that our birds and insects need to thrive and survive. Through the incredible education and outreach inspired by World Migratory Bird Day each year, we can continue to raise awareness of both the beauty of birds and other wildlife and what we can do to protect them. Thank you all for being a part of this collective experience, and we are already looking forward to next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. It seems I forgot a name from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Forest Service. Karin Theophile, thank you so much for your support for World Migratory Bird Day this year and all of the work that you've done. So next, we'd like to thank our program partners, Vortex Optics, Pepco Holdings, Songbird Essentials, the Xerces Society, and Department of Defense. And we're particularly thankful for Matthew Shepard, Director of Outreach and Education at Xerces Society, and their team's contributions this year, including the podcast on World Migratory Bird Day, which has had over 1,600 downloads. It was absolutely fantastic. And so, Matthew, we'd like you to come on and share a few words about your experience with working with World Migratory Bird Day this year.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here. Yes, I'm Matthew Shepard. I'm the Director of Outreach and Education for the Xerces Society. It's been lovely to hear what others have been doing and contributing, as well as, in this particular case, for insects to get the recognition for the central role they play in a healthy environment, even if it's by being eaten. The Xerces Society, we're an environmental nonprofit. We work to protect the world through the conservation of invertebrates and the places they live. So butterflies, bees, dragonflies, freshwater mussels, spiders, if it has no backbone, we're working to help them. We work on a wide range of issues, including pesticide reduction, endangered species, pollinators, but everything we do is framed by the same holistic approach of applied science, on-the-ground conservation, advocacy, and outreach. This has been our first year of participating in World Migratory Bird Day, but it's been a really worthwhile campaign to contribute to. You just heard that we managed to get it was Chris Elphick, if I remember correctly, was a guest on Bug Banter, our podcast. And so that was a really nice excuse to be able to come and have someone talk about something beyond insects. And so we really enjoyed it. Really grateful to have had this opportunity to participate and contribute. So thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Now I'd like to pass it over to Karin from the U.S. Forest Service, our global flyway sponsor, to say a few words. Karin?
Hi, everybody, and thanks. I'm Karin Theophile, U.S. Forest Service. Many of you know my colleague Mike Rizzo better than you know me, but he couldn't be here, so I'm standing in his shoes, although I don't have any claim that I'll be able to fill his shoes. So many of you know the Forest Service has partnered with Environment for the Americas for more than 15 years. And the partnerships are a really important one for the Forest Service because not only are we promoting the conservation message, we're also equipping people with tools and knowledge they need to take action. And that focus on building awareness about migratory bird conservation and promoting the protection of the habitat for all migratory species. And of course, this is done through, one of the best tools we have in our toolbox, the World Migratory Bird Day. That's really a flagship, and we use it in communities all across the Americas. And closest to my heart is the fact that this partnership and the work of EFTA through that work, we can reach diverse audiences, like really diverse audiences. We take these programs to homeless shelters, to programs for mentally challenged adults, to preschool programs in urban areas, rural areas, tribal communities throughout the Americas. So that's the part that's really close to my heart. And I can speak from experience, having the person on the ground doing these programs, that people get really excited. People really love birds and insects too. I don't want to leave the insects out. And we also talk about migratory bats when we do our programs, but birds are usually the real draw for people. And I've done programs in Baltimore, Cleveland, Chicago, St. Paul, and then my coworkers have done programs in Latin America and the Caribbean. And it's so much more than just talking about birds or habitat. It's really connecting people to nature and getting them to care about the protection of all the habitat and all the species. So it's a wonderful tool. We're so happy to be part of it and really looking forward to the campaign this year and bringing it to our partners. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, the U.S. Forest Service is such an important partner, and we really appreciate and are grateful for all the work that you've done in bird migration and conservation. So next, we would like to thank our friend level sponsors, and this includes Nature Canada, Birds Canada, Birds Caribbean, Programa de Aves Urbanas, and Cannabio. Their support and efforts to spread the word about World Migratory Bird Day and conservation across their channels and audiences are really important and instrumental for our campaign as well. And last but not least, we'd also like to recognize that the countless individual donors, educators, and supporters, all of you joining us, who make World Migratory Bird Day possible. So thank you everybody for all of your support, and we couldn't do this without any of you. Right, so next, we'd like to mention Anna Rose, our featured artist from 2024. And unfortunately, she was sick today and is not able to join us, but I'd like to just highlight some of the work that she's done on our campaign this year. So Anna illustrated this beautiful poster. This is the Americas poster that we did for World Migratory Bird Day this year. And for the first time ever, the World Migratory Bird Day poster featured species that were not birds. So she was able to illustrate many, many insects for each flyway this year. And so in addition to all the birds, these insects coordinated with each bird that they use for food and help them with their migrations and their stopover sites. And she beautifully illustrated these digitally so that we were able to use them for all kinds of education materials that were printed in the thousands and distributed all across the globe. And we got lots of really great feedback on all of these illustrations. And it really helped bring the campaign together. And art is really at the core of this campaign in a lot of ways and has been. And so using these education materials to spread the word across the Americas was really helpful in spreading our conservation messages. So thank you, Anna, for all the work that you've done on the campaign this year. Beautiful art, beautiful poster. And with that, I will turn it over to my friend Miguel to introduce the new artist for 2025. Miguel?
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much, Alex. Muchas gracias a todos por apoyar el Día Mundial de las Aves Migratorias con su patrocinio, con su compañerismo. Las organizaciones en América Latina y el Caribe nos sentimos muy orgullosos de estar en este programa juntos. Y por supuesto que siempre es una gran alegría explorar el arte, la educación y la investigación. Y con mucho gusto quisiera presentar a nuestra nueva artista del 2025, quien estará a cargo de ilustrar el nuevo tema de conservación, espacios compartidos, creando ciudades y comunidades amigables con las aves. Ella es Ana María Savarino. Ana María es una biólogo, artista y educadora que ha participado en el programa por muchos años. Es una artista mexicana que viene a compartir su talento y a dar ese toque colorido, científico y sobre todo educativo a la nueva campaña. Ana María, me gustaría que por favor compartas algunas palabras con nosotros sobre este nuevo reto que tienes y cuáles son tus expectativas. Ya hemos visto el trabajo de Ana Rose, cómo ha viajado a través del mundo y qué espera contribuir Ana María al programa del próximo año. Bienvenida.
Gracias Miguel. Pues quisiera agradecer a todo el equipo por haberme elegido para ilustrar el arte de este año. Realmente me siento muy emocionada, muy agradecida. Yo llevo siguiendo el Día Mundial de Aves Migratorias ya por varios años, gracias al programa de aves urbanas, y he visto
the Urban Bird Program. And every year I see how the art is wonderful, and I am just honored to be able to participate as an artist this year. It's a beautiful challenge. I am enjoying the process. The theme this year is beautiful. Shared spaces and cities as spaces for birds. We are about halfway, and I hope to be done soon. And I hope art this year is of the like of everyone participating in the program, and I do hope it helps in fulfilling the goal of the program. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and I hope that you enjoy it. Of course we're loving it, because here we can see a little glimpse of the art that we are going to be able to see in 2025. And of course, we would like to talk about the species that we will highlight next year. Let's remember that each species represents an important component of the World Migratory Bird Day. We are talking about species that are affected by collisions, species that are important pollinators, or pest control. But we also want to have a diverse group. So we have shorebirds, water birds, hummingbirds, etc. And so we can't wait to see the final product. And thank you so much for being able to take the time to be here with us today. Thank you. In this opportunity, I would like to introduce the team of the World Migratory Bird Day in the Americas and what we've been able to achieve this year. We have been able to increase the number of educators, and we have more and more each time. We are in touch with over 1,404 educators just in the Americas, and it's distributed like you can see on the slide. Of course, there are regions that have more, there are regions that have less, but we are all following the same goal. Next, please. So we want to thank each of them because their efforts are very important. And here I want to share just a little bit of the faces that make the World Migratory Bird Day possible. We have teachers, professors, researchers, bird watchers, they are decision makers. So we thank everyone's time in sharing the message that makes our program stronger. Next, please. And to be able to make this program possible, well, these educators need educational materials, and sometimes we don't have the resources, but that's why we have created a program that helps these educators to receive printed materials in their language so they can amplify the scope of our educational program. And so I want to thank each person that took the time to bring materials from the US throughout the Americas, in South America, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean, All of this was very important. If you are interested on becoming an ambassador, please let us know. We would be very happy to give you all the details. And we thank everyone in the pictures who were our ambassadors in 2024. Next, please. To start with the summary, I want to highlight the work of our coordinator, Leticia Andino, who unfortunately, this was her last year as a coordinator with us, but she will continue with her efforts in the region. She started as an educator in one of the World Migratory Birthdays event. Then she became the coordinator in Central America, and she was able to support 36 organizations in 7 countries and distribute over 56 happy kits, which are the materials that you can see on the pictures. And thanks to her effort throughout this year and all the years she was with us, we're going to miss her very much. These are a couple of events that happened in Central America, in schools, gardens, all of them focused around birds and insects. So thank you, Leticia, for these amazing results in Central America, which is a region that also includes English. And I also want to thank the educators that made all of this work possible. So we're going to give them a prize. Thanks to Vortex and Optics for the Tropics, these educators are going to have the opportunity to improve their program by receiving new binoculars that they can share with children, parents, families, and all the community. So thank you to our educators in Central America. So now we're going to the south, which is a diverse region, both for events and birds. So here we distributed 77 happy kits with all of our materials in Spanish. They were given away to 77 organizations from about 10 countries. These included activities in schools mainly, but basically in all the communities of the region. And that's why we also want to highlight their work and recognize their efforts, and also giving them binoculars as a prize. Next, please. We also want to highlight Marcela from Colombia, Nurialvi Viloriana Ora Jimenez from Venezuela, and Andy Ruiz from Ecuador, because they brought the conservation program to the region throughout the year, not only for the World Migratory Birthday. So I hope these binoculars make your tasks and your work easier. Next, please. I also want to invite Karina Avila. Karina, are you here? Hello, Miguel. Thank you so much. Good morning or good evening, good afternoon for everyone. My name is Karina, and I am the coordinator for the World Migratory Birthday in Brazil. And this year, Brazil joined the celebration for World Migratory Birthday. We had over 30 organizations, and we distributed over 30 happy kits throughout the country. We were able to cover 12 states, and we had many, many events from the north of Brazil to the south of Brazil. We had different events that were very important. We had symposiums, and we also had new partners like museums and universities. I just want to thank all of our team and each of the educators and sponsors for making possible for Brazil to be a highlight in the World Migratory Birthday. And also, we have great news. This year, we have winners of binoculars for Brazil. We have 5. One of them is Patricia Paludo, who carried out the second symposium in Rio Grande del Sur. We have Diego, Maria Fernanda, Clarisa Santos, and a group of students, Bianca, Isabela, Kahan, and Yumi. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you, Karina, for highlighting what a whole country can do. We hope to continue our efforts in this region. So now we're going to go to a different region. We're going to the north, and we want to welcome our coordinator from Mexico, Daniela Souza. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy of the outcomes that we had this year, and for Mexico we had a lot of important events. We had the participation of 87 organizations from 29 states, and we handed out 82 happy kits. In total, we did 110 activities, which makes me very happy because each of them, at least more than one did more than one event. And all of them were very creative. I also want to thank our national and international ambassadors, which made the materials arriving to Mexico possible. And here are some events that I want to highlight. Some of them created these images, and inside they wrote reasons of why to protect insects that you could open or close. Sorry. Like Miguel was saying, there were great events that took place, and I'm just very happy with everything that happened. Next, please. And these are our outstanding educators who are receiving binocular thanks to Vortex and Optics for the Tropics. We have Raúl Santillán, Hugo Araiza, Guadalupe Castorena, and they have been celebrating the World Migratory Bird Day for 10 years. Amira Mora is one of our new coordinators that had a very nice event happening, and Roxana Bautista, who has been celebrating the Migratory Bird Day for a couple of years. So congratulations to these coordinators, and congratulations for the work that they have been carrying out all these years. And that's me. I'm very happy with the results that we got in Mexico. Thank you. Thank you, Daniela. So now we're going to move on to the Caribbean with our coordinator, Laura Babula, who's going to speak in English.
Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you, Miguel, for the introduction. I am the World Migratory Bird Day Caribbean Coordinator, and I am based in Trinidad and Tobago. So yes, for Caribbean highlights in the Caribbean, we have a total of 41 organizations participating in World Migratory Bird Day this year, from a total of 14 countries, and we were able to distribute 45 of our happy kits. And then also thank you so much to our ambassadors, or 3 ambassadors this year, who made it possible for us to distribute these materials to all these wonderful educators. Next slide, please. Just to highlight some of our activities throughout the Caribbean. So we have school-based activities with presentations, educating the children on the islands about the World Migratory Bird Day 2024 theme, protect insects, protect birds, and then also in other forms of activities for education of World Migratory Bird Day. There's also the outdoor activity of bird watching, which everyone really loves and enjoys. And then, of course, in the news, a lot of our educators make it in their local newspaper and regional news. So I'm just highlighting just a few of them, where we have Ricardo Miller here with his team conducting the World Migratory Bird Day activities he did in his island of Jamaica. And then also with our regional partner, Birds Caribbean, also highlighting World Migratory Bird Day and bringing it to the forefront of the Caribbean. And then, of course, EFTA had our educational and workshop programs at Birds Caribbean Conference, and we were able to speak about our diversity workshop and World Migratory Bird Day, of course, and distribute materials to all our educators. And then in the next slide, yes, so congratulations to our amazing educators in the Caribbean. This year we have 5 educators that will be receiving binoculars to continue their educational work on the islands. So we have Jorge, Devon, Miss Michelle, Osmani, and Justin. Congratulations and thank you all so much. And we hope to see you all continue amazing work throughout the Caribbean and your islands. Thank you very much and congratulations again, everyone.
Thank you, Laura. And we want to invite our friend from Nature Canada, Audrey Jordan, who will share the highlight from Canada.
Awesome. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, everyone. It's so great to be here today. I'm really excited to hear about all the events happening in the other parts of the world, really inspiring. And this is, I think, my 3rd year coordinating World Migratory Bird Day events across Canada. In our map, you can see we had over 65 events across the country in all parts of Canada, except for in the high north. We distributed 25 Bird Day kits or happy kits, thanks to Miguel and EFTA for mailing us those. Additionally, in Canada, we had a few cities and towns proclaim with their city council or mayor World Migratory Bird Day to help raise the awareness across the country, sorry, in their community. And we can see a few of the events there. And one of our World Migratory Bird Day hosts even created with their local public library a birding backpack kit with binoculars and field guides on compass that can be rented out for free, and it even includes some trail passes. So I wanted to include that there. Really fun event idea that came out of the World Migratory Bird Day event they hosted. And on the bottom, they had a feather-friendly window collision kit giveaway, which was awesome. Next slide, please. Thank you. And so in Canada, we had a few crossover species from the featured species included from this year. And we worked with partner organizations, the Toronto Wildlife Centre, Ottawa Valley Wild Bird Care Centre, and Safe Wings Ottawa on some Bird Day ambassador blogs on these species and the work that each of those organizations does with them, whether it's with rehabilitation, monitoring, or stewardship. And we also hosted a webinar with Canadian researcher Dr. Christy Morrissey on the impact of agricultural pesticides on grassland birds. As we know, that ties in with this year's theme, and it's really important here in Canada, as lots of our prairie provinces are made up of grasslands and impacted by habitat loss. And I had my first time having an in-person event myself that I hosted at the Ottawa Children's Festival with a guided bird walk. And it was really fun to get kids out with their families and go birding. I'm really looking forward to the 2025 theme, and just always a great time. Everyone here in Canada loves the art and the stickers and learning more about the featured species that might not be in Canada. Thank you.
Thank you, Autumn. It's really, really inspiring to see all the work happening in Canada that you're doing up there. And for the
Thank you very much, Autumn.
Sorry, Miguel. I'll just go over some of the United States highlights that we had for World Migratory Bird Day this year. We had hundreds of events registered across almost all 50 states. But I think the thing that was really different and unique about this year was the variety of different events that we had for World Migratory Bird Day. It was everything from bird watching to educational presentations and conferences to festivals to even movie screenings for documentaries. And so that was just really inspiring to see the creative ways that these different educators are spreading our conservation messages and the awareness of World Migratory Bird Day this year. I'd also like to give a little shout out to one particular event that was really unique in Evanston, Illinois. They had a multiple day celebration, which included craft kits for kids, presentations, story time, bird watching. So shout out to Evanston, Illinois for having a really creative multi-day event for World Migratory Bird Day. And then here at Environment for the Americas, we also hosted our own World Migratory Bird Day in Boulder, Colorado at Walden Ponds. And these are a few photos from that day. We had lots of good bird watching and an insect hunt led by our naturalist, plenty of education tables, getting everybody informed and aware of all of the conservation messages of our theme and all of the other themes in the past as well. So thank you to everybody that joined in the US as educators and created events for World Migratory Bird Day. And one of the other things I'd also just like to highlight is that we had so many registered events for the fall this year that even though May is the designated World Migratory Bird Day for the Northern Hemisphere, the fall is beginning to rival the spring for registered events. So that was just a really, really cool statistic we saw this year. So thank you, everybody. And with that, I will turn it over to the Director of Environment for the Americas, Susan Bonfield, to talk a little bit about World Migratory Bird Day's expansion into Brazil and Colombia this year, and a little bit about the Bird City Network. So, Susan?
Thank you so much, Alex. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I'm going to wrap up our session today with a big thanks to everyone. I want to echo the thanks that Alex gave at the start of this webinar to all of our sponsors and supporters and partners and friends. And when you think about Migratory Bird Day, for those of you who don't know, but it's actually the program that launched Environment for the Americas. So it has been the impetus for all of the programs that have come since, and it remains at the heart of all of our efforts. And so how can Migratory Bird Day grow? Well, it has so many options, which is one of the things that makes it so interesting every year to do World Migratory Bird Day. In the coming years, what we're excited about is a new opportunity, which is to become a bird city. And we've already launched this program with the American Bird Conservancy in Latin America. And so we've piloted programs there to look at how this program could work. It's a program that was established in the United States. It started in Wisconsin, and then American Bird Conservancy is now operating that program in the United States. Canada has their own program, and of course, we want to make sure it's available across the Americas. So what did we do? This program is one that asks for groups to take action for migratory birds in 4 areas, which include addressing threats to birds, sustainability, habitat protection, and education. And of course, the educational component is World Migratory Bird Day. So we were very excited to work with some of our first cities in Brazil, in Colombia, in Mexico, and in the Caribbean. And just to share a little bit of the big work that we did in Brazil, with the support from Karina Avila, we were able to designate the first city in Peruíbe, which was a big event, and then, of course, expanded Migratory Bird Day across that country. Also in Colombia, we headed to Cali this fall to work with partners there to designate Cali and to also do a second year with Santander de Quilichao. Colombia is growing quite a bit, and so Santander de Quilichao tends to be one of our models for programs in Latin America. As you can see here, they have so many activities. They've taken the Bird City program to every corner of their community, whether it's a bird race or bird watching or culture or presentations or the engagement of the local government. They've really committed to making their community bird friendly. And so we're excited to continue working with them and to growing the program and learning from them quite a bit. And so now I know you got some little sneak peeks at what the theme will be for 2025, and we've already formally announced this, but I just want to share that these conservation themes that we've presented over the years are really important to the program. One thing that they do is they help to focus our messaging, and they also help to bring to light some of the issues that are important to birds and their conservation that a lot of people might not be aware of. And I feel like we've been really on target with our themes. So for example, in 2019, when we presented the theme, the plastic pollution theme, we were right at the forefront of raising awareness that plastics don't just affect, for example, turtles, but also birds. We also took to the skies when we did the dark sky program and light pollution and discussed light pollution and its impacts on birds. And again, that created new partnerships, and it also raised awareness of how important the sky is as a habitat. So I know you heard a little bit about what we're doing, and you met our artist, Ana Maria Savarino, and we're so excited that in 2025 we will be talking about shared spaces, creating bird-friendly cities and communities. This will be a rich, rich topic, but what we're hoping to engage everyone in is making many of their places in their communities safe for birds, whether it's the city, whether it's a rural area, whether it's your home, your backyard, or your school. What can you do to help birds, and how can you make your community a safer place for birds? We have a lot planned, including monthly webinars, including another art program, and we will be inviting you to that. If you don't have our information, please reach out to us, and we hope that you'll join our mailing list and get involved in World Migratory Bird Day. A big thanks to all of our partners who joined us today. I want to just give my heartfelt thanks for making this program possible. It was a fantastic year. Thank you to Miguel for leading the Latin American team, to Daniela Sosa, Lara Balbula, to Leticia Andino, to Alex, to Jason here in the office in Boulder. And I know I'm going to forget somebody, like Florian Kyle said. Be careful about saying names because you're going to leave somebody out. To Autumn, to everybody here on the call, Karina. If I left your name out, it's not because it's a lack of appreciation, but just so much happening. Many appreciation, much gratitude to everyone, and thank you so much. We will end the YouTube now, and we'll leave the Zoom room open for anybody who'd like to say hi or discuss anything and share their thoughts. And those of you who are watching remotely or who are on YouTube, please put your questions in the chat. We'll answer them and look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you.